All right. The people who have not joined the last session, please provide your details in the chat box. We'll start the class in a few minutes. So if you have any questions, meantime, you can ask me. We'll wait for another few minutes for others.
Yes, see, this is Sadat, okay? So, how do we log into Fabric? So, do we use the same account as Azure, or we have to have a separate account?
It is the same account we can use to log in to the Microsoft Fabric. So you need to create one tenant ID under your Microsoft Azure, and from
Okay,
there you can log in it. But you can use the
because
same on
I
Microsoft.
was trying to use it. It says please use your workplace ID, and I was trying to use workplace ID and it's not working.
Okay. So there is some tricky here. Workspace ID is nothing but it is required your domain ID actually. Okay. So when you log in with your Azure account, generally you log in with your Gmail account. So in that Gmail account, whenever you log into the app.fabric microsoft.com, so it is not going to accept with your Gmail account. You need to have a domain account, that is a on.microsoft.com account you have to create. So you no need to go and create separate domain account. If you have a Azure account, with that we can create our domain account. I'll show you that. Okay. Example. So guys, whoever is joined or missed the last recording, please share your details in a chat box so that I can provide you last session recording along with today's recording. Okay. So please provide your details in the chat box. So in the last session, we have seen some basic information about what is actually the fabric is, the under fabric what are the services we are getting provided by Microsoft, what is basic Azure, and what is the capacity. Today I'll discuss that. Under the services capability, what are the capabilities under your fabric, what exactly the main components are there for data storages, your data injections, for your data science, okay, and for your data modeling, and for your data reports and dashboards by using the semantic model or summarized model. So these are the points that we're going to cover in our regular class. Okay, these are the very, very important topics. So in some companies, you are not going to work in entire all the modules. Some may have a perfect in the data storages. Some people are good at in the ETL. They know the data factory approach. They know the data pipeline. They know the creation of this development. They're good at in that module. People who come from the data analyst, who have a basic knowledge on some ETL part, and they don't know how to do the activities with the activities or with the Spark notebooks or the coding language. They can go with the data flow Gen 2 operations. People come with the different backgrounds. They have a good at in the Python language, the Scala or SQL, Spark SQL, PySpark. They can go with the developing the notebooks. You don't require a separate platform like a Databricks or Azure Databricks. Microsoft integrated that frameworks inside your Microsoft Fabric. You don't require any separate other platform to do the operations like a big data workload. We have integrated within the Fabric capabilities. With this given capacity, we can create all kind of services inside a Fabric. Okay, yesterday I given a basic example that when you go to a restaurant, right? When you go to the restaurant, there is a two options. Either you can select your menu by paying an individually cost to that particular dish, or there is an option within that budget you are getting unlimited food along with whatever the dish you want to select or whatever the dish you want to eat with the unlimited approach you have. The similar kind of picture or concept bring in the Fabric. Select one capacity and you can use all your services, not required any separate costing for that. So you don't require separate costing for that. Anyone can work. It is integrated with single platform. Earlier what happened? Let's example, in all restaurant you will not find all the foods. In veg restaurant you will not find a non-veg food. In non-veg restaurant may have some combination. So if you want to go, you need to go for veg people separately, non-veg separately. So that integrated in one single restaurant and one all services they're providing in one capacity. The similar picture that we have here. Okay. So in the last session, I have explained the architecture, basic architecture, how exactly we are having the Fabric where we're going to use. So in real time companies, separate storages. The data may come from different storages: structured data, semi-structured, unstructured, JSON, Parquet. This information is not new. I know there are many non-technical people. They may not know these files information, how it's saved, how it's stored, how to read, what type of format it is. You mostly may be working with either the text format or CSV format or max to max Excel. People who come from MIS background. So this kind of data which currently we are using for your big data workload. Okay, so there are different sources system. Nowadays, a data is very kind of rapidly move getting in terms of volumes and multiple sources systems are there. We need to be ready for to get the data from any sources. Our main work is like a chef here. We need to integrate everything, manage, cook the proper food, plan everything, get the ingredients, clean that operations, transform them, and bring the information into meaningful that can be understandable easily by seeing the report or graph the end users. That is our main job. Our main job is to process the uncooked food to clean food. Okay. So for that, you don't require a separate team. You are integrated everything in one single tool called Fabric. That is more advantage. More people are looking towards this one. And a lot of other features are there. So this is what we discussed in the last class. We are landing the all your data in your data lake house. Earlier in 90s, you observe there may have data warehouses. Then we databases are there. Then we got data warehouses. Then we got data lake. Then we have a lake house. Then the delta lake. So this is a picture which we discussed in the last class, right? This is the picture that we discussed in the last class. So we got earlier databases, then we come across with the data lake concept, sorry, data warehouse concept. And to maintain the data warehouse, it is big challenging. Not exactly the big challenges. The problem is the getting the data, you are doing the transformations, and then what data is required that we are maintaining it. Again, if you tomorrow, if you ask me as a developer, you want to get some other data, then again it is a comes under the development and you have to do everything from scratch. But in terms of data lake, you are first loading it, then do the analysis, do the processing or do the transformations. Okay, so please mute your mics, guys. You have any doubts or questions, I'll answer your doubts or questions once the class is complete. So please give me some time, I'll answer your all your doubts. So meantime, please do not get disturbed to others. Please you mute your mics. Okay, all right. So then we got a data lake where we have landing all your formats of data. Land first, then do the transmissions later. But in earlier systems, do the transmissions first, then land the data. But now in our systems, we are first landing the data, then we are doing the analysis or transformations or do the directly analysis. But again, the next level of generations, data lakehouse. Land the data, do the analysis in terms of delta tables, and you want to do the transformations, do the transformations, or you want to directly connect to model your data, train your data, you can connect with ML models. So right now, Fabric is integrated with Delta Lakehouse. Okay, what is Delta? Going further, you will get to know the clarity of Delta. So just understand this is a kind of storages where we store our data with any format of any size of data. Okay, all right. Now see here. So this is what we discussed in the last class. The how the data comes, the Fabric where exactly use data lake, data warehouse. Then we have to load the data mart. Okay. Then separately we have to use the charges for. We need to pay separately cost for this module. Then in case of you want to do the big data workload, you need to connect again your what is called Databricks concept. Okay. So to read your Spark notebooks, there is a platform only Databricks right now we have. Then ML model, there's a separate training model you have to use, okay, for your artificial intelligence to do some data engineering part. This all will come and overcome this all challenges inside your Fabric. And for even for data analysis also, data analyst people, they train their semantic model. They use the Snowflake schema, star schema, the people who come from reporting background. So just having a reporting knowledge will not sufficient right now in the market. The market is right now very tough. But as a data engineering, still we have a scope next few years. As a data engineering, if you see about the jobs of Java developers or C# developer, any other code developers, completely got flushed out their jobs because everything is written by your AI. There are many AIs in the market right now. Even the co-pilots also. We have integrated co-pilots with the Microsoft. Your data analysis work is gone. Yes, we are doing under the data engineering part along with data analysis. We're doing that. Okay, for that you cannot develop the semantic model by your AI. But yes, here Fabric automatically develop the semantic model for you. But to train this one, the data engineer is required, right? But to develop some report, data engineering are required. And whatever the information you want to give, you give it and it will reply you in terms of AI. To develop this kind of picture, it is still not adopted by your AI. We have a scope in data engineering, lot of scope we have in data engineering than the other programmers. If you're going as a programmer, go with a AI integrated, or just having a Java knowledge, it is not sufficient. Just having a Python knowledge not sufficient. Okay, so a lot of things here we need to develop. So similarly, to work with this, we have a portals, cloud portals. So everything you're doing this all are in the cloud only. There is no on-premises, there is no on-premises setup. The mostly jobs on this data engine is only remote jobs mostly. Very rarely or maybe hybrid. So mostly the jobs will be on remote only. Maximum jobs will be remote or maybe hybrid. Everything you're doing in the cloud platform only. When in terms of Azure, you're going with the cloud. This is also Microsoft portal. In terms of Fabric, you're also going to do in the cloud. There is no physical installation you required in your system. There is no setup is required, separate project setup. There is only one thing, either you can go with a resource group or workspace. Okay, we work only with these things. When we terms of Azure, we call as resource group, we call as resource group. In terms of Fabric, we call as workspace. What is a workspace? Is a collaboration of all your team working together in multiple components called workspace. Resource group is something you are working with all together with a multiple services called work resource group. So, so as you said, like right now for Azure, we are getting $200 free account. How to create? I'll show you in the next class. Don't worry about that. Now I'm going to show you both account, free account and the pay as you go account. There are two subscriptions are there. You pay premium account. This is companies use generally. That is a premium account or a free account. Generally for practicing, go with free account. So we'll discuss more services in Azure also because tomorrow your data is in Azure. If your data is in the Azure data like ADLS, Azure Blob storages, Azure Blob storages, Azure SQL storages, Azure Data Warehouse storages. As a Fabric developer, we need to, our responsible is to get the data, process the data in Lakehouse, Data Warehouse, in Data Marts, for the reports. Okay, so we are going to see this portal as well and data factories also. So in terms of creation of Fabric, here it just slightly giving 2 months of this one and they are giving you capacity called F64 for a free users. So how to create the account and all, everything in detail level, I have a document that. Okay, I'll give you recording. I'll show you practically. Okay, so for now, I have already account. So I'll just, for Azure, you need to go azure.com for creation of your account. So Microsoft Azure.com is going to give you the free account or pay as you go account. So which one you want to use, you use it. It is similar like your Netflix, Amazon. When you want to watch movies, sometimes they'll give you free 1 month. After that, what happened? They'll ask you to go with a premium one, monthly basis. If your choice, you want to convert it. After completing 1 month, you want to convert it. Otherwise, leave it. Go with another new account, which is giving you 200 USD dollars, 200 USD dollars, which is almost in Indian currency 17 or 18,000 based on the dollar rate, and that is for 1 month, 30 days. Once you have an Azure account, you can log into the portal.azure.com. This is the place where you do entire development. I'll show you two things. One is this is my free account. How can I see, sir? How can I identify free account, pay as you account? I'll show you. So my name is, account name is Azure Fabric. So this is mine. You have last 7 days left to use this remaining credit. Still, I didn't use this credit. I cannot withdraw this amount, please. Okay. Don't think that you can withdraw. You cannot withdraw this money. You can apply this money to purchase the services. If you want to develop project, what you require? You're developing BI project, business intelligence project, or data engineering project. Storages are required, lakehouse is required, data warehouse required, reportings are required. Each individually services you are ordering it from cloud. Your operations ETLs are required, systems are required. You are ordering the products. For ordering a product, you require to pay something to Microsoft. Where you are ordering it? You are ordering this product to the Microsoft. I want the ETL tool. I want the database. I want a storages. So you have to pay something from them, which is given by this account, this money. Okay. So if you want to create, just simply, very simple, just click on create the storages account, create a storage account. So I told you, right, you need to create a one workspace or one resource group. Okay, one resource group, Vinay Tech resource group. What is that resource group? Demo, I'll create. Okay, demo, Vinay Tech resource group. There's one project. Inside this project, I just want to create some Vinay Tech demo storage. Physically, where you are storing? See, everything I told you, right? We are only working with cloud. So that means there is no physically you are dealing with. For working with this cloud, you just require account, one internet, one system. That's it. And physically, where you are storing, definitely it is not like a white color clouds. It will store backend. There is a data center, Microsoft data center. So if you are in Hyderabad, you may be heard about in a high-tech city, in Orbit Mall. Backside, somewhere you visit, there is a very big data centers. The data centers are occupied by multiple companies. There is a third-party company who's managing the data center, but their data center is stored by multiple companies, including your SBI. Okay, our data center is also same. So there is a physical data center, but as you are acting like a virtually, so which data center you want, you can select. End of the day, end of the year, financial year, we go and visit to that and we see how security they are maintaining it. So that is what Microsoft providing you the redundancy. Microsoft providing you the redundancy. What is this redundancy? This redundancy is nothing but a kind of copies of data, locally, geographically, zone wise, with a combination of local and zone. Example, like you are select locally, you selected in India region, you selected India. In India, we will maintain 3 copies of data in Hyderabad. One is like we are maintaining what is it? Yeah, one we are maintaining in a one we are maintaining in a Hyderabad location. One is we are maintaining in Pune. One is maintaining the some Goa location somewhere. 3 different locations. If I talk about geographically, it maintains into 3 different locations again. Geographically, the other countries, nearby countries, they'll maintain. Zone wise, again they'll maintain 3 copies of data. So we have a in detail level about the redundancy. Okay, redundancy. What is that? I use storage redundancy. Okay, so always prefer Microsoft portal pages. Don't go any kind of block. Okay, if you see the locally, it maintains in the same data center 3 copies of data. If one copy is whatever it is happening immediately, it jump to the second we call high availability or whatever the log shipping backend or they do. So this is the concept. So Azure zone wise in India we have a 3 different locations. Example, I'm taking some other different states. Geographically, 1 copies of data in India, 1 copies are data to the other location, secondary region in other locations, nearby country. Then this combination of zone and geographically, that is a zone and geographical redundancy, copies of data. So definitely your data is somewhere is 1 copy have issue, that will be another copy will be maintained. Okay. So don't worry, in detail level, we'll discuss this, how to do that. Okay, let's see here. I'm just creating the service in your Azure. Let's come back to the Fabric. So if I want to create another data factory ETL approach, what I am doing right now, I am creating the data lake in Azure, and I want to this one also. I have to go separate service, separate account, separate pricing. So instead of that, okay, let it get created, not problem. So I am going to log into the app.fabric.microsoft.com. This is a page for Fabric users. This is a cloud for Fabric users. So, sir, how we can go and create this account? So, just remember that right now I'm logging with Gmail account. This Gmail account will not be work on your Fabric account. Remember this one. Fabric account only work on some domain accounts. Domain accounts. Either you use a company ID, but no one is working with the company. So you can create some on.microsoft.com, or you can create a free account. Once you created a free account, see my storage is ready. My storage is ready. Which one you want to take? Blob storage and store the data. Okay. This is like a Google Drive. You are just saving here and you are uploading some data here, some data logs, and you can upload your data and you save like a Google Drives. Okay, if you want to upload some data, let me click on upload the data. Okay, so where is your data? The desktop, the Fabric, Microsoft Fabric. Some data, some country-wise data. Okay, so this is my records that I have uploaded in the Azure cloud. This is my data. Now let's see. Let me come back to the account. I'm just jumping to the another account to show you exactly how you can create. Once your free account is created, you can have a domain account. So how to create domain account? So there is a concept called Microsoft Azure Active Directory. So with a name called Microsoft, what is that? Enter ID. You can use this one, and you can create here as a users. In companies also, you will get a user with a domain name. Whatever your name is there, Pavan dot D so and so at the rate IBM.com, Wipro.com, whatever it is. So we created one user. By click on create a new user, it will create one user for you. It creates one user for you. So this is my account with on.microsoft.com. Once this account is created with this user ID and password, I'll just go to the Fabric and I'm going to log into app.microsoftfabric.com with my account. Okay, and click on connect. So this is a setup. It will ask you while doing. We are not setting right now. In the coming classes, I'll show you how to set up this security. Okay, app security. So once you've given your code verifications, this is the picture. So this is the picture. Generally, how you connect to the Power BI app.powerbi.com, right? This is how you connect on the same level, on the same account. You're connecting it, but this is not the Fabric account. To convert this into Fabric, you need to go and convert that into the Fabric account. Now in this Fabric, we have a different workloads. Okay, different workloads. We have different components. You have in which component you want to work. You can work. And you can see on the right hand side, you have a workspaces. This is my project. Similarly, in Azure also, you remember I just created a resource group. I just created a resource group. Okay, I just created a resource group. So very simple. I created one project right now. You remember demo Vinay tech underscore project, and I created one storage account. Now similar picture I'm going to do in a Fabric in one capacity. So if you see, this is my free trial, which is left to 40 days. And you want to see what type of capacity it is using. So what is the capacity, how to create capacity? Going further, I'll tell you that. Don't worry about that. Okay. So for now, for a free users, just remember that for a free users, Microsoft going to give you F64 capacity, which is more than enough. More than enough. You can do everything. It's similar like a pro of your Power BI versions. Okay. More than it is enough. No, it started with F2, F4, F8, 16, 32, 64, and so on. It is more than enough. No, sir, I want to create my own account and then I want to manage a Fabric also. Yes, definitely you can do that. Just go to Fabric. So just go to the Fabric, Microsoft Fabric. You want to create your own account? Yes, you can create it. Not a problem. Okay, you can create it. So you want to create Fabric account by your own capacity. Right now it is free account. They're giving us 64, but in real time, what we do? We create our own capacity. What is required capacity for a project? For a project, how much capacity is required? F64, F2, F4, F16, whatever the capacity is required, install that and allocate to this user. Okay, that is called capacity. So I'll plan separate classes for this one. Don't worry about it. So in one day, you cannot learn everything. So that is what we plan this course for 2 months. It is a long-term course, almost 60 days we need to spend. So it's a big, lengthy course. Okay, because Azure mostly I'll complete around 40 to 50 days, but this fabric have a lot of concept, new concept. We'll see that. Okay. So as for now, I have a 64 that is more than enough for your practicing. And with that, I can create a workspace. What is this workspace? This workspace contain this workspace contain all type of projects. You can create data flow. You can create lake houses. You can create some notebooks, Spark notebooks. You can run on some other components like anything you can run. Example, I just want to have one demo workspace. Let me create a new workspace. This is my Vinay tag, some demo workspace. Okay, demo workspace. And to this workspace, how much capacity you want to allocate? So to this workspace, I just want to go and allocate some basic capacity, trial capacity, pro capacity, premium capacity. Which one you want to see? Or you have already created this capacity that you can select from here. This is the option will enable that capacity. If you're going that capacity, it will show you here. But right now I didn't create it, and I have not specified to my account that this is so and so account. See here, my account is this one, Microsoft Fabric. I can allocate to Microsoft Fabric. So which account you want to give this allocation? The moment you give, it will enable this one, premium capacities. This is more than enough. Okay, we'll discuss this licensing mode in detail level in coming classes. Don't worry about it. So right now I'm just going with the trial subscription to just show you the components. Now let's example. I have this data. Let's take this data. Where is my data on the fabric data? This data I'm having. Can you read this data? Can we understand this data? Can we understand the data? Can we understand this data? Or this is a Parquet file, okay? Parquet file having some. You cannot open this Parquet file actually. We cannot understand this data, okay? We cannot open this. It's stored in the column-wise format. So by seeing this data, can we understand there are three different formats? One is a structure format, a completely semi-structured format, some other format, which is not understood, unstructured. We store in the column-wise storage. Still, we can manage this one. We can understand this stuff. But what exactly you want from this data? The first question is what you want the insights from this data. So before that, if you try to load this data in your database, generally we load this data in the database. If you see this picture in the yesterday class, I have told you, right, you need to load the data in the data warehouse. But nobody asked me, sir, why you are trying to load the data in the data warehouse. So these are the files are coming: CSV, structure, semi-structure, JSON, Parquet. These all will sit here. These all will sit here. CSV format, JSON format, Parquet format, all will sit here. And we are trying to load the data into the data warehouse or any other storages. Anyone observe why you are loading the data into the data warehouse? The first question. Even your manager also asks you to load this data. But why we are loading the data? What is the use of that? Anyone know? What is the use of that? You can unmute and you can tell me if you know. What is the purpose of loading the data into the data warehouse or any database or tables? So without purposing, why we load the data, right? Okay, you loading a data tables. Okay, you're loading it. Just for the sake of loading the data, you're loading it. Somewhere it is used, right? To do the analysis. To do the analysis. Okay, one time we'll load this data. Can't you analyze this data in the Excel? Can't you do the analysis in case you want to do the data in Excel? Can't we do that? Sir, I'm a non-technical. Even I can tell you that I can do this data analysis into Excel. You want the summary data? Tell me, I'll give you summary data. My Excel person will come and he'll tell, okay, sir, tell me what data you want. I will do that in Excel only. So what is the use of loading the data in the database? Anyone? Aggregate the data. I have loaded this aggregated. This is what you want, right? Country-wise data. Country-wise data. Sum of salaries or revenues, you can say. So there is a something that you need to understand. This data on daily basis is not possible to analyze the data in Excel. And this Excel also max to max, if few records are there, is okay, still we can manage. If there's a millions of records, Excel will just go, or 6 lakhs also, it completely get gone. It eats your processor, system processor. Still it store the 10 lakhs record. Still it store the 10 lakhs record, but still you understand that if this is a format, every day we cannot do manual work. Data may come from this format also, data may come tomorrow this format also, data may come from this format also. This order informations. So manual work is not possible right now. Okay, one time you can still manage anyhow. Daily basis it is not possible. There are different formats we are getting data. So that is the reason first what we are doing it, we are landing this data. Fabric giving you to land any format of data and you can do the analysis at the stage only. You don't need to load the data also. You first analyze where you want to do analysis in Spark notebooks or some SQL endpoints, or if you're good at SQL Server, you do the analysis here only. That is the flexibility is giving in the lakehouse. So if you see here, what I am trying to do is I just created one workspace. Inside workspace, I am going to add my item now. There are different items. I want to land my data in the lakehouse. What is this lakehouse? This is a component which you store the data in terms of lakehouse. So lakehouse, inside lakehouse, what I'll do, let's suppose this is my first or lakehouse data for demo. Okay, demo lakehouse. I'll create demo so that it will be easy to understand. That's it. That's it. Now you can start uploading the data in the files. In terms of files, you can upload data wherever data is there. Let's suppose I want to upload data like country wise. I want to upload. I can upload this way, or I want to see the different format also there, right? Let me show you that format also. The CSV file, the comma delimiter file. There is a parquet file. Different formats are there. Different formats are there. Different formats are there. Now you can see, I can read this data. How you can see, the moment I click on this, I can see this data. Similarly, if you want to read this data without doing any transformations, without loading the data to the data warehouse, that is later stage. First, you'll understand what is the data is coming. So simply, there is a concept in the lake house called delta lake. There is a concept called delta lake. You just need to load the data in delta lake tables. That's it. You can load this data into the delta lake. What is this? So this tables or delta tables will help you to load the data into the delta tables. What is the error? Invalid column name employee ID. Okay, not a problem. So there is an issue with the employee ID column. Okay, not a problem. Okay, let me save this changes. Now I'll try to load the data into the delta tables. Okay, understand. So this is only accepted delta tables because of the spaces. Okay, because of the spaces, it is not trying to figure out the values. Okay, no problem. We'll put underscore. We'll put underscore. This all comes under the transformations. Okay, remember this. This all comes under the transformations. So we are just loading this into the transmissions part. So how to do that, I'll show you. For now, I'll just try to process this data. Okay. And because I just want to do the analysis before loading the data, I just want to have an analysis. Later, I'll do the loading part. See, I'm not doing any stuff. I'm just added to the delta tables. Even for the parquet also. See, we are not able to understand the data here, right? In our local, but you see that same file, if I try to open in the lake house, we have a different operations, different fields, different columns, parquet file. Okay, you want to see the data to be loaded into the tables, just load it, order tables. And you can see in the tables here, we have operations, we have a table format, employee data, which is coming from CSV file. The similarly, you have order tables, that is a parquet file, and you are still, you can write a queries on the file. So you can still write the queries. See, I want to see the data. I want to see the data here. You can still write the queries by using some semantic endpoints. So there is a platform in the data lakehouse. You can write the queries also. See, I'm just writing a queries. I can write a query here. Simple, very simple. So in this one, I have two tables. You remember I just selected top 100 records. Let's select some records. Order tables, this order table, this is my employee table. See, this is my employee table and this is my order table. And what you want the conditions, you can write a where clause where I want the department, what is it, department name equal to some HR is there. I just want that users. Okay, only the department who have a HR department, only those employees I required. What is the department name? So spelling mistake is very, very important, guys. So make sure that basic, you need to understand some syntax. Okay, so this is my department information, which having only HR. And you can do some operations also. You can do the filtrations. Okay, so this is something like when you have a SQL knowledge. When people are coming from the Spice Park background or notebooks, who are writing a multiple different codes language, yes, that is also can possible easily. You go to the lake house again back. I just want to see the file. I want to analyze this data in terms of notebooks, Spark notebooks. You can open these notebooks, a new notebook. I just want to write a queries. I do some transformations on top of these files. Yes, you can do that. So this is my files, and I don't know the syntax of how to write the query in PySpark. I don't know the syntax of writing a queries on Spark SQL. If you know SQL, everything will work. If you know basic SQL, everything is easy. So similarly, still if you don't know, you can allow these components to write the code. See, what is a data frame, what is a parquet, and everything we'll discuss in detail level. So as of now, we are reading this file from this so-and-so data frame, from this storages in a lake house. In that we have a file called parquet. So that information I'm saving in the data frame, nothing but a kind of table. Okay. So it automatically create a clusters. So maybe you people are background from the Spice Park. So to tell you, we can allocate a cluster. So with a Databricks, it is more faster. In 4 seconds, it has started the session. If you take about Databricks, some other platform for you working with a Spark, Apache Spark, it takes more time. But here, very quickly, it processes your data, very fast. And you can decide how much you require a worker nodes. You can go to your workspace. Where is my workspace here? And you can decide to your workspace how much you required on a data engineering or Spark settings clusters. By default, it is using the starter pool, which having maximum nodes are 1 to 10. Sir, I want to create my own clusters. Yes, definitely you can create by clicking on new pool. You can create your own clusters, own allocations of your worker nodes, or whatever the distributions that you want to use, you can use it. So even by default, it is starting with a 4 or 5 seconds. Your Spark session will start. See, this is my data. This is my data. Similarly, you want to do the analysis on the JSON file. That's it. This is my JSON file data on a Spark notebooks. Sir, I don't know the Spark. I don't know the syntax and all. No problem. No problem. You can read this data in the, even this also in SQL also you can read this data. You can change this data into SQL and you can load this data into the SQL. So even if you don't know the commands, use the OpenAI. Just open ChatGPT and type how to convert the how to create, or let's create how to create a table in PySpark using the SQL table. Okay, SQL table in PySpark using the existing data frame. Okay, it give you all kind of inputs. So remembering the syntax is right now it is very tough for people who are coming a newly from non-technical. See, it is everything. It is written for me. I'll just take a copy of this one. If you don't know the PySpark code, I'll write in SQL. I'll write in SQL. So I don't know this one. I'll simply write. So first, what I'll do, I'll just write this. I'll convert this my data frame into the table, and I'll write my operations. See, I just convert this data into my table, and I'm writing this in the table format. So just execute. That's it. See, it's showing the data. Now you can use this my table. This is a table. This is your table now. If you want to read the data, you can just write a magic command called SQL, and you can write this in the table format. See, I got this data. You want to apply some operations? Yes, I want to see the employees. What is that? What is that? EMPLOY. Okay, employee wise, I want to see some of their employee salary. Right? Let me take a copy of this one, so better. Otherwise, it throw me error if you don't provide proper naming. Okay, so employee salaries. I want employee salaries as well. The sum of employee salaries. If you don't know the same thing, comma the as salaries, so, comma counts of employee ID. Okay, as counts group by this employee. So if you have basic knowledge also in your SQL, you can work with Spark notebooks. You are still running in Spark notebooks, Apache Spark notebooks. And still, this is also don't know the syntax. You have one more option that is called data wranglers. Sir, I want to run only in PySpark. Yes, definitely you can run by using the easy operation by data wrangler, which write in code automatically in your. See, this is my each employee wise, their salaries, their counts, how many times he has repeated. Okay, each time they have this data. And even on top of this, you want to just do some analysis, you want to apply some charts, graphs, whatever you want to do, you can do. Okay, we'll see the age wise. Okay, age wise, what is the age wise? You have age wise, employee age wise. So how we are paying the salaries for age wise, we'll see that. And you want to apply some graph on top of this, click on new chart, quick analysis, each age wise, what is the charts, different charts that we have. Easily we can understand, okay, this so and so ages, so and so this one, how many values are there, sum of salaries are there. So you can fill up your data points, data selection points by editing your start editing this one. You can enable your data points, x-axis, y-axis, what you want. You can use this one, salaries, counts, basis on how you want to show you. Okay, this is all you can display here. Clear? All right. So this is how you can manage by using Spark. And you can schedule this as well. Okay, there's an option called schedule. Whenever you require, you can schedule it. Similarly, I want to load this data. I want to load this data by using the data pipelines. See here, I have a data in this one. Let me go back to my lake house. Let me go to the workspace first. In my workspace, I have a lake house. I have a notebooks. Now I want what I want. I want data pipelines. I want to load this data into the warehouse. Data pipelines. From where I want to load? This is my ETL pipelines. ETL data pipelines. So where you want to load the data? I want to load this data from the lakehouse to warehouse. Okay, I want to load the data from lakehouse to warehouse. So I can create one. So before that, you need to have lakehouse. Already we have a lakehouse. We have a files. We have a tables. So let me go back to the main lakehouse. We have a files, right? So I want to load this file to the warehouse. Where is the warehouse? Okay, so no problem. Just go to the ETL pipeline. Let me add some activity, copy data activity. I'll add some, you have already a connection, right? Demo lakehouse. So you have lot of other connections, guys. So you can browse many other sources. That is more important here. Wherever the data is, even you didn't work with all the storages, but we have all the capabilities of all type of storages here, whether in terms of files, in terms of databases, in terms of Power Platform, Azure services, online services, some other storages. Lot many other things are there. So whatever you're creating in a fabric, you have all stored in one lake. We'll discuss in detail level about one lake. You see all my projects, all my storages in one lake. You don't require a separate copy. So example, in real time, what happens? Somebody is working on finance data, somebody is working on HR data, somebody is working on customer data. So if you want to club together, you have to get it copy first. If you're dedicatedly working on finance data, you need to get the data from the customer people and you need to load in your local. Then you need to analyze the finance and customer combination. But here, you don't require any copies of data. Wherever you want, you can directly get and start doing analysis into a one lake concept. So that is what a powerful integration in one lake. So for now, what I want to do, I just want to go my already existing connection is a demo lakehouse where I'm having some files. Which files you have? There are 2 to 3 files are there. Can I see which file it is? Okay, let me browse. I have 3 files: Parquet file, JSON file, or CSV file. Okay, just select any one of this file and tell what type of file you are using it. It is a delimiter file. Okay, you want to see the data, just preview the data here. And where you want to load? Yes, I want to load this data into the data warehouse. So your target will be a new data warehouse. If you have a warehouse, go and select. If you don't have a warehouse, you need to create a warehouse. So here I want to create Vinay demo workspace. Under that, I want to create a warehouse, demo warehouse. Okay. So very powerful and very important this lakehouse is. So in warehouse, you can do a lot of things. You can store any limit of data in a structured format. Okay. So how to create and all going further in detail level, each module wise modules will practice. Okay. All right. So do you have a table? Definitely in warehouse, what we think we have a tables, right? We don't have table. Do you want to create table? Yes, definitely. I want to create a table. Database object owner, my employee data. That is underscore data warehouse. That's it. That's it. So what are the columns I want to create in the warehouse? I'll see that. See, these are the columns. Do you want to set up any data types? Set up here. Otherwise, just save and execute. So I want to just for now, I want to save and run. So start loading the data from the lake house to warehouse. This is the stage. So it start loading the data. Okay. Come on, come on. I have another session. So, all right. See, I've started loading the data. Do you want to see the output of this one? I'll show you output of this one. See here. What it's trying to do? It's trying to load the data from the lake house to the staging area, where the staging area will transform in the lake some generation 2, and from there it is trying to load the warehouse. How many rows are required? This process is already processed. Yes, okay, well, it's already loaded. So you want to see it is processed. 10 record is wrote. And what is the time, duration, source is all you'll have in detail level. We'll discuss it. Okay. For now, I just want to go and see whether it is loaded in my warehouse or not. I have a warehouse. Where is my warehouse? This is a warehouse. Let's go to the inside to this warehouse. So it bit like you feel like a confused about the lake house and warehouse. Now we have only warehouse here right now. You see here, this is my data warehouse. You remember I just created one table of auto table. Now this is a fixed schema. Fixed schema we call. We cannot change the schema. Yes, definitely you can change, but dynamically whatever the data types are there, only that data types will be work. If you're sending some other data type, it will throw you error. So on top of this data warehouse, what we planned, we will do this work also. We will do this work. We will develop the schema, snowflake schema, star schema, data semantic model, and then we'll develop the reports in the same fabric only. So in the below, if you observe here, there is a concept called new semantic model. Do you want to create new semantic model? You can create a new semantic model. So which table you want to create? I have only one table. So you may have multiple tables in real time. You want to create with that semantic, you can use that semantic model. So just so data warehouse data model. Okay, the star schema, snowflakes, whatever you want to create it. That's it. Click continue. So we need to create a relationship between. Okay, I have only one table. I cannot create multiple relationships. If you have a multiple fact table, dimensions table, and then we can create a relationship between semantic models. Once the model is ready, our model is ready, what we can do, we can have a report here. Once our model is ready, where you can see that model is ready or not, you just go to the manage tab, or do you have any option here to go to this one report? Okay, if no, not a problem. Okay, if yes, you can create. So let me go to the workspace, and you can see a semantic model is getting ready. And you can open the semantic model. Right now it is not a multiple tables, yes, but we can do some analysis. So if you want this model to be work in a preparation of reports, you can do that. You want to analyze in the Excel, you can do that. You want to analyze in the reports, you can do that. And there are many other options that we have. Okay, so you can do that. Or else just have to a Power BI services. If you want to do on a Power BI services, you can create a new report. So people who come from the Power BI background, you don't require to train your model. Automatically, a model is ready. So just select the visualizations, what you required for your report, and you can do not services are required. So I want to just apply on department wise some values I want to see. Sorry, why it is coming being here. We need to, okay, we need to set up a proper data types. Okay, we didn't select a proper data type. So what we can do, so we need to transform this. Okay, so for now, we have a department wise We have any measure values? Okay, we don't have any measure values. We don't have any measure values, right? Okay, no problem. So what we can do here is can we create some, let's see some top records. Any measure values? Oh, that is the problem. We don't have any measure values. So if you have measure values, you can directly create a report by selecting some measure values. As of now, we don't have any measure values, so you may not create the data lines. Okay, so you can just have a look on a table wise reports you can design. Okay, some employee ID wise or so first name, last name, their phone numbers. You can design this one. But if you have a measure values, definitely you can select the measure values here. So you can develop the reports also here. It is not like you need to go Power BI services separately. You can develop, you can save, you can download this into your desktop also. There's a separate tool is a Power BI desktop. In that we can download it and we can do some transformations also. Instead of working with this one, we have a concept called Power Desktop. In case of the transformations you want to do, you can do here also, but rarely we do here transformations. When you have a fabric, you're not required to do any sort of transformations. Okay. So what is there is some warning messages. Okay, you can create some blank report. You have an option here called transform data. So in this place, we can do the transform data. All right. So we'll see a lot of things are there. We'll going further. We'll see. I have another session now. Okay, got a clarity at least what we are going to do in the fabric.